What do you think about dating a girl who doesn't have any social media accounts? I'd be all for it. The big reason I use social media nowadays is to look at hard videos and stuff for TRPGs. Reddit and X happen to be some of those places. Though it's also pretty easy for me to come across a subject I don't like, i.e., most political stuff, and get off of social media, angrier than I was before. I rarely talk with other people on social media, unless if it's on something like Discord. So being in a relationship with somebody like this might give me a reason to ditch social media altogether. Don't know how to explain it, but as a woman with not much social media outside of anonymously posting on Reddit, some of these answers are kinda icking me out. I get being obsessed with social media as a turn off, and someone not having it makes them seem more confident. But I get the feeling some of these people are just relishing in the fact that this potential woman is not in the public sphere and other men aren't able to see her pictures, so she's all for him. It's a bit weird emo. I think a lot of the comments here idolizing this notion as though she's some perfect girl are making the mistake of thinking it means that they're the ideal opposite of some attention-seeking girl with a never-ending presence on them. It's not that. A girl who is not on social media could have a slew of other issues that would bother you just as much as that vanity does. People talk as if social media is a bad thing. Reddit is a social media. Y'all ain't special for not having Instagram or TikTok now. You guys are still here socializing despite being anonymously. I think it's about how you use social media that makes a difference. If you are using it to learn, connect, and for your business, you are doing it right. Makes little difference emo. People can have social media accounts and not be annoying to be around. If someone has a crippling need to post everything online, it's probably a minus, but someone who likes to keep contact, read the news, or even just post some of their pics online isn't a huge deal. It's just a problem when that's the priority. No. Every single person I've dated or befriended who didn't have social media either had warrants out or were cheating, or both. I understand using it very little and trying to keep things private, but making a point to leave as little digital footprints as possible tells me that someone is being really shady. 2 separate women, 2 separate cities, several months apart. One had FB, but I never log on, the other had nothing to speak of. Pretty ladies, great careers, after a couple dates, both seemed awesome. Turns out they were both married, that's why they both stayed off socials. Red flag. I got rid of my Facebook for a couple of months because my wife's like the head of a union and I didn't want to get all my political spicy BS to be in the way of her success at work, and now I just have an incredibly bland, soulless Facebook that has no joy and is bereft of my spirit. I would think that she doesn't spend a lot of time with her phone and her face. The only reason I have mine still is because of family in other states, but I don't really use it or go on it much. The last picture I posted of myself was like 4 years ago lol. Solid green flag. I stopped dating people who use social media a while ago. Life is much better. I make an exception for things like credit and the likes, where your individual profile doesn't matter and it's not about attention gathering. I loved it, but come to find out my lil shorty had a nig the whole time we were together, and I had assumed that we both weren't going to use social media, but it was fun until I found out she had one SMH. These hoes ain't loyal. It's not simply about social media presence, but more about how much one is ready to impact their present, day-to-day life choices and future goals because of social media. The minimal the better, irrespective of the gender. My BF doesn't have a social media account, and I think it's reason why our relationship has lasted until today, 3 years. He always encourages me to read instead of wasting my time minding everyone's business on social media. Love being on the other side to this. I dated a girl who was like this and thought it was alright. A year later she screwed me over. Now I wonder if she doesn't have social media to hide from others she's done it to. You mean a girl who actually has a life unhindered by social media, and not pointlessly submitting selfies for likes from thousands of strangers on the internet? That's an extremely rare find and a keeper in my book. Y'all saying you'd be perfect with her while being active daily on social media. Crying face. I doubt someone who doesn't use social media would be actively looking for someone who posts consistently on Reddit, of all places. I wouldn't think twice about it. I would, however, be skeptical about someone asking this question. Caring about social media and random people's opinions doesn't exactly scream mature and interesting personality. Only account I have is Reddit. My GF only had Facebook, last time she used it 10 years ago. We are both 27 and I think it's one of our biggest hidden blessings that we can't truly appreciate how good it is for us. Sounds like a dream, honestly. I don't actively use social media myself unless you count the occasional browsing through Reddit or Pinterest on the way home, or watching YouTube when I'm bored and feeling lazy. Probably a red flag to me. almost guarantees she has no friends, meaning I would have to be her only friend that she calls, talks to, and tries to hang out with all the time. That is exhausting and unhealthy. I've only ever had Reddit and FB. I travel permanently, so keeping up with new friends FB is a must. No Insta, Snap, Twitter, etc. I don't use a phone, just laptop. I wouldn't date a dude with those either. Reddit is the only social media account I have, so it's really not that weird. If anything, it's good because she's able to live in the moment and not be tied down by trivial things like social media. I don't have any social media accounts as a woman because I don't know how people have so much to say. Like, no one wants to know how good my mac and cheese was last night, lol. Maybe I'm just boring. Interesting just because it's rare, makes her stand out. That said, at the end of the day, having or not having social media accounts is not what is going to make or break the relationship. I do not personally care whether or not someone has social media accounts. If they're running a blog about murdering their boyfriends, I would be alarmed, but probably not otherwise. She is smart and decided to make the hard decision to avoid the fictive nature of social media because she wants to make a stand. Sounds like a green flag. Treat her with respect. Frankly, that would turn a 6 into an 11. Not being addicted to social media in general is such a massive green flag. I'd probably semi-ignore other minor issues because of it. That was my experience when I was dating my wife. I loved it. She was very in the moment and never cared to post or share with people. It was all about us in that moment. Ask her if she's willing to submit to a background check and try to find out her credit score. If they come back clean, you can call her in for a second interview. Triangular flag on post, in my opinion. Having social media in 2023 is considered normal by all accounts, so what's the reason behind not having it? I'd be sure to ask that question. It's funny seeing so much people appreciating this perspective when a lot of people, man and woman, told me off when I said I wasn't active on social media. Ask her why? Could be a sign of her being shy, or a sign of her actually having a lot of self-esteem and not needing it. So potentially a very good thing. My interest immediately doubles. If they're not using it, it's probably for the same reasons as myself, so that's instantly something to bond over. Lol. Not everyone on social media. Quite a few of my friends zero social media accounts. Anyway, why would zero online presence have any bearing on someone? That's the dumbest logic that I've ever heard. Some people don't have a social media presence because they realize that shit sticks with you forever. I didn't bother having one until I was like 24 or 25, and that was just because I missed some old friends, so I get it. But doesn't Reddit count? I would like to date someone with no social media accounts. I would hope this meant they were doing a lot of interesting things in real life. She's cute, likes me, and not obsessed with social media? I guess the Lord does work in mysterious ways. Thanks for the blessings, J-Man. About the same as thinking of dating a girl who is on social media. Who she is and her personality, do I gel with her, is my only concern. Green flag, you won't have any drama with SM, and also know she isn't posting thirst trap validation photos all the time. Excellent deal. Who cares? No social media accounts is like, a good thing, maybe, but I think it won't factor in about how attracted I'm to this girl. This is me, lol. People all tend to find it odd, so I was expecting a lot of negative comments. Happy to see that isn't the case. Perfect. All I need is a messenger so we can talk. If she wants to share something with me, she'll send it to me. And vice versa. She's a unicorn. She's not advertising herself to a bunch of dudes online, and she won't know that I get all my jokes from Reddit. Currently dating a girl who is barely on Facebook and has Instagram only for memes. She never posts anything. It's 100 amazing. That's my wife and I'm loving it. Only downside is that I have to explain to her the latest unimportant internet drama or meme. I wouldn't even notice if she did or didn't unless she brought it up. Reddit is the closest thing to social media I use. That's a great find. I'd delete the last of my social media, not much left if we hit it off. You have yourself a keeper. I'm that person apart from Reddit and a fake name of FB, which I won't reveal to anyone, and locked to the core, so yeah. I deleted all social media when I was like 17, so I don't think it's abnormal as I continued to watch YouTube or Reddit. She's probably mentally better off and focused on real people, not parasocial relationships and strangers judging you. I cry because finally I don't have to take 20 pictures for the gram ever again, and I can just live in the moment. She'd get an old-fashioned courtship like a true lady deserves. Highly sought after type of woman in current year. I don't have any except my non-Reddit account. I wouldn't think anyone's weird for not having social media. She had a social media account with 0 posts or stories but was following a few dozen people. Awaiting court. My wife would object, but she doesn't have any social media accounts either, so I guess I'll call it good. As a guy who's slowly but surely stepped away from any form of social media since graduating, sign me up. That sounds nice. I'm sick of social media, all the cheating and toxicity relating to it makes me want to kilometers. I mean, social media didn't exist for a long time before it became a thing. I don't see it as a big deal. Better tie her to the stake and burn her. Why is any woman on Insta? So many creeps. Including me. How TF did I manage to go on a date with her? I legit only have hers. I just cringed so hard online. Ask her when the mothership is going to arrive and if she's down with making human alien babies. Stop, I can only get so erect. Where can I find a woman like this? Asking for a friend. It would be the dream. I had one years ago, so much less drama and very low attention seeking. As a woman with no social media besides Reddit, these comments are very nice to read. Lol. No social media is only a good thing. I look down on those who take social media seriously. I'd never date or commit to a girl that was heavily involved in social media. Deal breaker. Honestly, I'd prefer that. I don't want a girl caught up in TikTok and that other nonsense. I'll love to have a GF that doesn't make me take hundreds of pictures of her for Instagram. Search her with reverse picture searching to be sure she's not lying. If not, no problem. I mean, I met my wife over social media and FB, so I'm glad she had at least one account. I'm not into it and I don't trust that. It feels antisocial and a huge red flag for me. I'm 26 and I only have Reddit as my social media, so these comments are nice to hear. Lol.